everyone, welcome back to the channel. Another Spoilers with Friends. I'm here again with Ann Willis, and today we're going to be discussing the Bigfoot Alien Conspiracy Revealed, which is on Amazon Prime. Ann, initial thoughts?
That's one of my favorite movies of the year because it's really, really funny. I don't know if it was meant to be a joke, but either way, it's hilarious.
Okay. As I was watching it, I thought it wasn't a joke, but it could be. I mean, it's really riding that line.
Yeah, it's right on the line. I think it was meant to be interpreted as not a joke if you don't want it to be a joke, and funny for everybody else.
Okay. So the Bigfoot Alien Conspiracy basically is that we have to explain that, well, I guess the Patterson film was in the 60s, right? So for 60-something years, people have been looking for Bigfoot and have not found one. None of them have ever dropped dead in a parking lot or got hit by a car or whatever. So we're still looking for the physical evidence of the creature and haven't really found any. So people have had to come up with explanations, right? We've got,
right.
Why don't we find Bigfoot when we go looking?
Because Bigfoot is not a corporeal being as we think of it. Bigfoot is an interdimensional being. So Bigfoot can just blip in and out of our dimension, and that's why there's no scat, no hair, no DNA. You only see one at a time usually, and they can do all kinds of amazing things.
Yeah, I did learn in this documentary that they will leave you gifts and that they have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, not great gifts, but not like diamonds and cash and stuff. Like you'd think beings with that kind of power could really leave you some cool stuff, but no, little like rocks and Scrabble letters and stuff like that.
Maybe it's better than your cat bringing you a dead bird. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah. So the people doing the documentary are out talking to people who now seem to fall into a couple different camps. You got the people who still think that Bigfoot is a physical creature. And now you have this other group that thinks Bigfoot is coming here from another dimension. So apparently they don't get along very well.
No, but I think eventually the interdimensional being folks are going to win. I mean, it's been decades with no DNA, so the franchise can continue if you keep going on with. I got to admit, I first heard this theory a few years ago, and it's a good one. I mean, not as far as like making sense in reality, but as far as explaining why they disappear so fast. And they've also connected the interdimensional being camp has also connected Bigfoot to all these other paranormal phenomena, UFOs, which are now called what is it?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah. It's UAPs. That's the cool term for UFOs now. UFOs are out. They connect it to.
You research UFOs, people laugh at you now. So
right.
You want to have you research something different.
Right. I think I just saw an orb in your room there.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw something fly up from one corner and go to another one. And there was one in that movie that I really think was just a moth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there was one.
They made a big deal of.
The stink bugs keep coming in, right? It's stupid things.
It's Bigfoot shapeshifted into something else, really. You need to have that checked out.
I learned that in this. A Bigfoot can shapeshift into moths.
Yes.
So if you see a moth around, it might be Bigfoot spying on you.
Right. And if you put mothballs in your closet like I do, you may be killing any number of interdimensional beings. But at least they won't eat your sweaters.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You think it has some protection, but I don't know.
Maybe they do.
Yeah. So, and they also talk about vortexes some in this, and also the ones who think that Bigfoot is interdimensional, they sort of get pixelated and then they shrink and then they disappear. So that, I guess, proves that they're a hologram or something.
Right. Like Glinda the Good Witch, you know how she turns into that ball of light? It sounds like they do kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And the guy walking around the vortex pole was really funny.
Yeah. They have built a house or whatever, like it's at an 18 degrees off level, so you can you're always standing at some weird angle, and it's like one of those fun houses at a Six Flags or something. But yeah, you could go into this house and feel the vortex or something. I wasn't clear.
Yeah, I think it's just a sideways house, and that does make you feel weird. I've been in buildings like that, but that's not paranormal. They were trying to kind of pass it off as it was, but it's kind of fun. But I don't think it's interdimensional beings or anything else paranormal. But they talked a lot about orbs and vortexes, and they kind of tied together all the standard paranormal items.
Yeah.
They didn't bring up ghosts, I think.
But it would also explain Bigfoot having been seen in almost all 50 states, right? So
yeah,
because there's
and around the world.
Yeah, I mean, you even forgetting like the Yeti or whatever, the Himalayas, because that's pretty remote. You've got Momo the monster in Missouri, and you've got like the Boggy Creek monsters in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Certainly, Bigfoots have been seen in Texas and Florida, and
Oregon.
I'm not sure there's a state that hasn't had at least one Bigfoot sighting, whatever they call it locally. It's something giant and furry, anyway. So yeah, because it's like with the Jersey Devil. I mean, you think in Jersey, which has got some pretty big cities in it. Then I know there's some woods and there's some remote places, but eventually, if it's a real creature, it's gonna wander the road like car. There's gonna be some dead one somewhere, unless they can just zap themselves into another dimension.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So that works very well as a theory.
And I have to say, I like to make road trips to strange places, and the alien vortex in Colorado is going to be one that I'm going to hit as soon as the virus dies down and I feel safe traveling. But at least that place would give you a lot of opportunity for social distancing, because that lady was sitting in a yard lawn chair, and there's just, I love it. It's just like people have brought offerings. It's just random crap.
Yeah.
Offer whatever your kids left in the back seat last week. And
a Mad Max shrine thing for post-apocalyptic future. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was really interesting. That's my kind of stop on a road trip. So if it's $10 to get in, that's okay. That lady's making a living.
There you go. Yeah, that was interesting. Also, we love that there's a real life Willie Ray in this movie. If you saw our last Spoilers with Friends, and we talked about the Bigfoot Project, which definitely is a parody.
Yes, and hilarious.
And hilarious. The people interview Willie Ray, who's being owed $20 by Bigfoot for losing a game of Sorry. And so Willie Ray and this Bigfoot have this relationship. And this Bigfoot alien encounter revealed, or whatever it is, experience revealed. See, I can't keep the name straight. There is a Willie Ray. I don't know what his name really is, but he is apparently regularly visited by the same Bigfoot, and they have some kind of relationship, and this Bigfoot leaves him presents and stuff. So,
yes.
Yes,
like looked like it was by the gutter coming down out of the shed.
Yeah,
where the Bigfoot was leaving gifts. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there is at least even one guy who apparently claims to regularly have interactions with the same one. So there's even like this sort of human Bigfoot friendship going on there, at least with this one dude.
Yeah.
So then I had to double check and make sure that this came out after the Bigfoot Project, and that the people who did the Bigfoot Project hadn't seen this and then incorporated this person into, but actually the Bigfoot Project came out, I think, in 2017 or something, and this documentary is from 2020. So apparently, no, if anything, it'd be the other way around, that this guy maybe saw the Bigfoot Project.
Good idea.
But it wasn't that the Bigfoot Project people saw this guy,
right,
and then put him in but as soon as that guy started talking, I was just like, it's Willie Ray, and it's like Willie Ray, Apparently, there's at least one person out there has a pretty good friendship going on with a Bigfoot.
Yeah. And ironically, just a few days after you had told me about this movie, the government declassified some UFO footage. Now, that doesn't mean those things are aliens, but I think one of them was the same ones that they were showing in this movie. They sure look the same. And they're probably just trying to distract us from something to do with coronavirus. It's like, there's too much going on. Let out that alien stuff. That'll keep people busy for a while.
Or they won't notice or something.
Yeah. Right.
We'll put the real alien stuff out there, but they won't notice because they're too busy, with other things. But
yeah, they're too busy trying to social
UFO
distance.
footage a few years ago. The most impressive UFO footage I saw, and I can't really explain it, is somebody was filming this thing was beneath their plane, and they were flying over the ocean, and this strangely shaped thing would like duck down into the water and would skim like under the water a few feet, then it would come back up out and be like skimming over a few feet over the water, and then it would go under the water. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool, because your ship, I guess, it can handle outer space, I suppose, if you're actually an alien, unless they're just zipping in from another dimension.
Could be.
Yeah, and then it can go down in the water, and then come up in the air, then go down the water. I like that. That's cool. So I don't even know where that footage is. You might want to Google it.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, now there's new footage. So who knows? Maybe the Bigfoot have UFOs too.
Maybe that's what they're driving.
That's what they're driving. You'd think they'd be smaller, but I guess you could always make your UFO big enough to handle a 8 to 10 foot tall hairy ape thing.
Yeah, maybe the Bigfoots came first, and we are small, hairless, ugly versions of the beautiful, full-haired Bigfoot creatures. We're just, mistakes.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of ways that we could explain it. Yeah. Almost makes you wish that John Keel was still alive and be writing the next book on this.
I'm sure there's someone who will take that job over.
I don't know who is the successor to John Keel, right?
I don't know.
Is there anybody really writing entertaining books on these kind of subjects? I don't know. Maybe there's just lots of people. Nobody's really stood out yet as like the voice of.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think there are a lot of people writing books. It's just that I think they're published in smaller publishing houses, and they're, Lyle Blackburn writes books, the guy that did that Momo movie, and there are lots of others, but I just think they don't hit as big. They're self-publishing, which you couldn't do 40 years ago, really.
Right, and like I was at that and you came to that paranormal conference or whatever in Alton in February, and I think I was the only person selling fiction there. So all the other tables had nonfiction. So everybody had their own books, and most of them on ghosts. But I'm sure every paranormal group has probably put out some kind of, series of their investigations or something. So there's a lot out there, but nobody, off the top of my head, seemed to be like the leader of it.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of those local ghost story books, especially. I picked those up in a lot of places, and they're good stories. But those books usually don't, hit the New York Times bestseller list. So
definitely we would recommend the Bigfoot Alien Experience.
Absolutely.
So you would give this, I assume, then 5 Bigfoots?
Yes.
Okay, that's what
yes.
I did. The Bigfoot Project got 5 Bigfoots as well.
Yes.
So as long as we're on the topic, if you like found footage movies, Willow Creek is really great, and that's about Bigfoot. And Cold Ground is also really good, and that takes place in the Alps, but again, it's a Bigfoot. It's a tall, hairy ape, so I don't know what they would call them in Switzerland, but those are a couple found footage movies that are kind of fun that star Bigfoot. But certainly this particular documentary, we're not sure.
That was very, very entertaining.
Very entertaining. So definitely check it out if you have Amazon Prime.
And it's not that I just give 5 Bigfoots to every movie that we watch. It's, we do filter through some. Some of them I make it 10 minutes in and it's like, nope.
Yeah, and as I said, that's why I like the resume feature on things like Netflix. Where it's like, oh, I tried this before. Yeah.
I've noticed that. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember I didn't want to watch this. Because I'll think something sounds good, and then it's like, oh, no.
No. It had a nice description or whatever. The title maybe was a little different. Yeah, so 5 Bigfoots for this. If you want to check it out on Amazon Prime, definitely do that. If you enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe and that little bell notification so you know when I put up more videos. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.